Okay, this is gonna be a recap video of everything I've done in just barely under a week. It's either the 6th day or 7th day, but I really didn't do much of anything yesterday. But yeah, so what I have done, let me do a quick playthrough demonstration. Not really much to play through, it's just raw mechanics and stuff. So there's a little fade in, and when the scene is fading in, the player can't move. Alright, so if the player dies, they can't move, they go into a dead state, the enemies stop. What I want to do is disable the animations too, where it just stops what they're doing. But I also added different checkpoints, so that way when the scene is reloaded, the player will spawn at that checkpoint instead. So yeah. Also, you see the lives at 9:53 at the top left of the screen. That also saves with the game, so I'm gonna like go ahead and die and then reload. Yeah, it already subtracted it like as soon as the player died. But stopping it and replaying it should spawn me back at that checkpoint and reload the same lives. 9:52, which is an absurd amount. But I also added life, like a life counter script, which basically just increments how many lives the player is gonna have. So, and it varies between how many the player should get. So the one on the left gave me 1 life, and the one on the right is getting plus 12 because I wanted to try it out with just different ones. But I add a little bounty pad so the player will keep jumping, one-way platforms, a dash system that goes horizontally. There's a little glitch here, but it's not game breaking, so it does. I didn't try to fix it just yet. But if you're dashing if you're dashing and you hit a wall while you're climbing, the player will keep his little ghost fade, which kind of looks cool, but I don't know. Yeah, I made it where there's a walking, so the player is a little bit more precise with the edges. Let's see. The longer you hold down the spacebar, the higher you jump, and if you just tap it, you don't jump to the maximum height. Little bounty pads. There's a little fire protect thingy here where if you grab it and you run it at enemies, it'll kill the enemies. You can bounce on enemies' heads. You can dash forward, down. I made unique pickups, so you see how there's nothing right here. I just hit a reset button for it. Play, and let's see. And the item is right there. Accidentally picked it up, but when the player picks it up, it'll go into like a blinking state basically. And they can't move, all the enemies are stop moving. And yeah, it acts as basically like the Crash Bandicoot mask, I guess would be the easiest way to explain it. So if the player picks it up, they'll have like 1 extra hit before they can actually die. So like after picking it up, the player go into the dead state. Let me hit the restart key again. Should be back over there. Yeah, so if you pick it up, it'll pause the game and the player will like blink to pick it up. Same thing if you get hit by an enemy, it will. Oh. Alright, I didn't zero out the enemy states. I didn't stop their velocity at all, so like the enemy just kept pushing me. So that's something I gotta fix, which shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, I mean, pretty solid mechanics. Climb up and down. If you jump and hit the wall and try to jump off, it won't work. But if you climb and then jump, you can like get that extra boost over. I didn't add any like death obstacles yet, but I mean it would act the same way as like the enemies. So right now I can make it where, let's say this little frog dude, he's doing 1 damage. I'm just gonna increase his damage right now. Go over here. So if I hit the enemy, it will instantly kill the player. Forgot to re-add that. Let's see here. So yeah, and it just completely annihilates the player. So like it doesn't matter, like it's not gonna blink at all or anything. But yeah, you see like the mask is gone upon like restarting the scene. So I got basically unique objects that will just save. Yeah, I mean it's been, yeah. So I've only looked at 2 tutorials so far. One of them I didn't really use because I wanted to make the player blink when they're like when they can't be damaged. So let me restart this. So if you pick this up, blah blah blah, vulnerability, but if you get hit, it'll pause and then I forgot to change the frog back to 1 damage, but let me redo that. So stop it, go back over to the frog, set the I don't know if hitting reverb would be good. I don't know what all I've changed on without saving it. So let's see, pick it up, player. So the player gets hit, they go into an invulnerability state, and they should ignore, like, yeah, they ignore the enemies as well, except for the bounce, like the stompy bouncy part. They'll still be able to touch that. So let's see what else here. So I made all of the artwork inside of Photoshop. I grabbed a little color palette wheel with monocolors from just Google Images. I don't know the exact website it came from, but I basically just made tile palette, which right over here you can see it. And then I made player sprites and then gave like the objects for the player down here. And then I only have like 2 enemies I made so far. I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. And then I have like a little frog hoppy thingy. Yeah, it's been a very interesting, productive week. But yeah, that's it for now. Oh shit! It stopped before I explained what the other tutorial was. The other one was the player ghost dash. The tutorial I followed was this one, but I don't exactly like it due to it'll spawn in from a timer instead of a set amount like you would do from a pooling. So like you see how it's not evenly spaced out somewhat. What I would like it to do is make let's see, so basically like 1, 2, and then like a third one pop out instead of just having it where the player just, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that might be a cool mechanic right there. But yeah, just basically like I would actually want to prefer to have it where it's 1, 2, 3 other than like just a weird amount based on a timer.